Portable smoke machines have been highly sought after in the last few years, most notably thanks to the PMI SmokeGenie. But at almost $600 for the starter kit, it's a little too pricey for most of us. So let's see if this $250 MicroFogger 5 Pro from Volsentech is any good. The standard kit comes with the MicroFogger 5 Pro itself, bottle of fog liquid, remote control and USB-C charging cable. Enough to get you running, but you'll definitely want some of the accessories to make the experience much more fun. So I also have the color smoke attachment, lock line adapter, lock line tubing, circular diffuser, rake attachment, liquid fog attachment and tripod mount. In my opinion, the lock line tubing is essential for allowing you to better shape your smoke rather than just shooting it up in the air. Now let's take a closer look at the MicroFogger 5 Pro. At the front you have the USB-C charging port, mode and select button, display and smoke button. The display is crucial for ensuring the correct usage of the device. The left bar shows the airflow power, the right bar shows heating coil power, the middle is a thermometer to show the fluid tank temperature, and lastly at the top is the battery level. The display also allows you to change settings for items such as auto run modes, accessories and remote control. A quick word on the heating coil power bar on the right. When you first turn on the device, the top two power levels will be inaccessible until after a few uses. This gives the MicroFogger 5 Pro enough time to safely warm up for producing denser smoke. Moving on, at the bottom we have the power toggle and battery cover. Last but not least, the top is where you screw in the fluid tank, and there's also an accessory port for items such as the color smoke attachment. In terms of the build quality, it's very clear that this is mainly a 3D printed object with some aluminium and steel parts. But I don't mean that in a bad way. The build quality is still excellent, and this approach allows them to keep the cost low. Before we proceed any further, I'd like to quickly remind you that although portable smoke machines are fun, but it can be quite dangerous when used improperly. So make sure to read the manual, and I'll also include some safety tips at the end of this video. Now let's fill up the fluid tank and start smoking. Locate the fill pot cap and remove it. Carefully fill it up with fog liquid and then put the cap back on. If this is a new device or you've just replaced the coil, wait for 15 minutes to allow the atomizer to saturate with the fog liquid. Now screw on the fluid tank to the top of the device and attach the safety cover. Power it on, select your settings and hit that smoke button. It's a really fun tool to have in the studio. The fog can do so much to elevate a scene, both for photography and videography. Since I do a lot of product shots, I find that sometimes the scene is lacking movement or texture. With the MicroFogger 5 Pro, I can just whip up some fog in a matter of seconds to bring the subject back to life. Now let's quickly go through some of the effects that can be achieved. Without the lock line tubing, you're limited to mainly just smoking up an area. However, you can still control the smoke density to achieve the desired look. Now things get much more interesting when you use the lock line tubing and compatible accessories. Let's start with the circular diffuser. This attachment diffuses smoke in all directions. I like using this whenever I want to achieve a symmetrical looking smoke with the product in the center. Next, we have the rake attachment. You can use this in conjunction with your product shots, but another use case for this attachment is to visualize air movements. Last but not least, we have everyone's favorite, the liquid fog attachment. This simple looking attachment allows you to create fog that hovers on top of surfaces. This is without a doubt my most used accessory because it makes my product shots so much better. It's truly amazing that we now have such a capable smoke machine in the palm of our hands. I'm sure we all know what those traditional bulky smoke machines look like, right? It was a massive commitment to bring the machine around. But with the MicroFogger 5 Pro, just throw it in your bag and it's always ready to go. Now let's get into some safety tips with the MicroFogger 5 Pro. Firstly, keep the device upright when operating. This should be fairly obvious since you don't want any of the liquid spilling out. Now I understand that sometimes you need to tilt the device when setting up the smoke. That's fine. Just don't use it for an extended time if it's not upright. Next, you should refill the tank when it's less than a quarter full. This is simply to avoid the heating coil from burning if there's no liquid. Moving on, when transporting, charging or storing for long term, remove the tank just to avoid any unnecessary risks. Those are just some of the safety tips that I've learned during my time with the MicroFogger 5 Pro. Just practice using the device safely and you'll have a great time with it. Alright, let's wrap things up. It has truly been a fun time messing around with the MicroFogger 5 Pro. The creative possibilities are endless and I've just barely scratched the surface of what this device can do. But I know what all of you must be thinking. Is it better than the PMI SmokeGenie? Honestly, no. The build quality, performance, and price is just way different, but do they do the same thing? Absolutely. And for some of you, that's all that matters. And yes, I'm well aware of the new PMI Smoke Ninja that is retailing at around $300. All I can say is that the budget portable smoke machine market is about to get very interesting. But for now, this is the best value portable smoke machine for most creators. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!